Thank you for joining us today for this webinar during Abu Dhabi Art 2020. Please, if you have any questions, kindly send your questions in through the Q&A box, and we will answer them towards the end of this talk. It's great to see so many of you. I had the great privilege to meet some of you last year. Thank you for making the effort to be here again. And thank you so much for those who don't know me. Thank you. I'd like you to introduce myself. My name is Nadine Maalouf, and I'm the co-founder of 81 Designs. 81 Designs is a social enterprise based in the UAE that was founded by both my mother and I. We employ over 30 artisan women based in Ain al-Halwa, Lebanon, and they're mostly focused on preserving and modernizing the ancient embroidery technique Tatriz by providing employment opportunities. 81 Designs empowers and improves the social and living conditions of these skilled refugee women. Let me now introduce my mother.
Because of you all, we are here today and are able to continue with our enterprise. My name is Nesrine Maalouf. Today we are so happy to introduce to you a Thobe story. Each Thobe design took over 5 months of incredible attention to detail, love, and skill to create. We had the privilege to collaborate with Naqsh Collective on this beautiful project, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Naqsh Collective founders Nesrine and Nermeen Abudail.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you all for bringing us together here on this platform. Thank you, Abu Dhabi Art. Thank you, Nermeen. I would like to start my talk by congratulating all of you ladies who worked nonstop to bring this Thobes around us today, starting with Mahmoud and her resilient team in Ain al-Halwa camp in Saydun, Lebanon, passing by Nermeen and her dedication to love put in this project. Aside of her endless details, huge appreciation goes to you, Nesrine and Nadine, for your vision in continuing with this project in this complex time. Seriously, believing that it is needed now more than ever, due to all these unprecedented year the world witnessing. Last but not least, I would like to thank Abu Dhabi Art for this amazing opportunity in being in the art world in this moments, participating and creating a change. Thank you.
So I'd like to ask Nesrine a couple of questions. How did Naqsh Collective start?
Well, Naqsh started as a simple dream of an ambitious architect and graphic designer, Nermeen, my sister. We played with architecture material in a small scale. Physically, it started in 2010 after coming back to Amman, where I live now with my family after 7 years of living in the States. It started in a studio with lots of different materials and designs. Nermeen and I experimented with reflecting in whatever pieces we create, our rich Oriental culture. By then, Nermeen moved to Dubai and our online journey took place.
Great. My other question is to you again, is what role does an artist have in society?
Well, Nadine, I believe that artists are those who can translate people's feelings, pain, joy, emotions into something tangible. And at one point, tangible and intangible on another note, to translate what is inside the artist himself or herself. For us, Nermeen and I, and after 10 years in this beautiful journey, we are true believers that art and enough creativity will change society faster than politics these days and can bring the world together, sharing their human instincts of beauty and to celebrate culture and human civilization in a beautiful way. So as simple as this.
I couldn't agree more. When did you, Nermeen, this question is to you. When did you start working with Palestinian embroidery?
Okay. Palestinian, hello everybody. Well, Palestinian embroidery was always there, living among us. Since we were young, we did pieces with my mother, my aunts, and a matter of working with it was a matter of time to actually bring it on the surface when we started digging deeper into our roots, in particular starting with the Arabic Spring. And that was the time that marked our longing to express something inside and to share others their feelings and share our feelings with others as well.
And what is the creative process that you go through when you design your own work?
When we dug deeper in the heritage in our culture, when we knew more of the stories that took place, that lived amongst us, but we never captured the essence of why, where, when, who, all of that. That was the beginning of the whole process for us. The stories that we knew of, the stories that we dug through our research, the graphical language that was embroidered on the dresses that we searched and were exposed to in Tiraz, in Amman. This is the home of Arab dress for Mrs. Widat Qawar. And researching all the visuals that we could capture on encyclopedias of the Palestinian Encyclopedia, a lot of documented stories from Nabil Anani, Nimr Sirhan, Sulaiman Mansour. All of these enriched us to come across so many elements that we wanted to express.
Nesrine, why did you, in particular, decide to get involved in this project?
Well, the Palestinian address is a piece that it is with every woman. For us, we never had the chance to create our own thobes or dresses when we were young, preparing for our wedding ceremonies or like any stage in life. And as you know, our main inspiration in our artwork is around embroidery and the motifs and the stories. So at one point, Nermeen and I were like, how about we go back and just see what we can do and add, or like if we want to create our own designs and thobes, what would they look like after this journey with embroidery? And after this experimentation and construction and deconstruction with the architectural language that we created in our work. So it was kind of a challenge, of a dream, of a new journey that was exciting. We really wanted to see this dream coming true and celebrate the culture and just keep it going back and forth with the stone, the threads, the fabric, and see where do we stand and take it to the next level. It's, again, the thobe is every woman's storytelling, and this is the story that we felt that we wanted to tell in this time of our lives, in this time of the situation that, again, is part of our story. Palestinian situation is a very important part of our story, being reflected in our thobes. So we're happy to just see them alive and see them around us, telling or representing us as women having this huge heritage, celebrating it.
My other question is to both of you. What thobe do you both most resonate with? If one of you can answer, and why?
What thobe? I would pick this minimal white dress with the man jumping from Akka's wall. For me, this takes me back to my vision in architecture or design, where I'm more lenient to the minimal style. I would like to see minimal line telling the story with its with the powerful of abstraction that you can even see in the white spaces, in the white areas, that it's part of the storytelling as well. And you don't really have to add so many details in order to capture the essence of the artwork. It's just sending enough that conveys the artist's vision, the artist's soul. And for me, yeah, I'm a believer of less is more. And by working on more details with less details, I don't know how you put this together, but my heart is where the white dress, we call it like leap of faith, right, Nermeen?
Yep.
So my heart is there.
Mine would help in art. You can help us, please, showing the inspiration behind the artwork, the thobe that I like. It's called Or My Heart Falls Dear to Nesrine. Could you show us Wamashat artwork in the studio, please?
Oh, okay. Yes, I will take you in a tour in our studio.
So this Wamashat thobe, it talks about a lady coming out from Gaza, being under siege. She just wants to break free. She's moving through the fields of wheat, coming to visit us in Amman, carrying all the goods, the grapes, all the things that we would like to taste from Palestine. And yet the traces of the wheat stems, they get stuck to her thobe, reminding her of where she's coming from and bringing it with her to the visit. And at the edge of the wall, Nesrine, if you show us the little bird, there is a little bird towards the edge of the wall.
Yeah.
They're waiting for her comeback, sitting still back of the thobe.
Thank you so much, Nermeen.
Now I have a question for you, Nermeen. How different was your experience when being involved in this project, as it's not the typical medium of your work, Nermeen?
Yeah. Embroidery is a very resilient and yet at the same time it's very sensitive. So when we wanted to experiment and work with embroidery, we took it out of the context from being on fabric, textile, and using the threads. And we reflected that all on brass, stone, wood, and such solid material. That's not common to embroidery. But coming back to embroidery, yet working with our artwork and our pieces, inspiration, coming back to the thobe, we felt that it's not a regular way of dealing with embroidery, especially the ladies when they were the ladies in Ain Hilwa, when they are exposed to the files, to the design, they were a bit surprised to see how we're gonna actually create the thobes, because there's no counting. As we know, embroidery, cross stitch is all about counting, geometry, shapes that do make sense in how it is. But when we gave them the files with the deconstructed patterns and with the creating another visual coming out of embroidery, that was a challenge, yet it was a joyful journey to see how embroidery was such a resilient language and symbol and graphics that you can actually create and create different inspirations and art from it.
Yeah, they did an amazing job.
So how about we go into detail with the presentation of the overview of a Thobe story. Can we please start the slides?
Yes. We know embroidery comes from different regions in Palestine. Could you go to next, please, to show that overall Palestinian... Hello? Yeah. Okay, so we know that patterns, they come from a region, has meaning, specific properties to each, to reflect that region and to give like a status to the thobe that it is embroidered, and to reflect that lady who's wearing it in terms of the where is she coming from, for example, how many kids she has, the house she's living in, all of that is reflected in a thobe and from different regions. But could you please next slide, please. Okay, so we wanted to show you what the effect we've done on embroidery patterns and what was Naqsh print. For example, this is Khaymat al-Basha pattern, and this is how it is reflected and translated in our artwork, where you see Nesrine's realm of lines and her architectural realm very prominent and affecting embroidery patterns and motifs. And overall visual, you can read the graphical language coming from my envisioning of the artwork. Next. So the thobes that we've done, in a nutshell, collectively, the pieces are here, from Akka's thobe to the Leap of Faith to a Mashat and Nesrine's minimal white dress with Yafa's fishing trip. So we just wanted to share with you, next please, the slides of files that has gone through back and forth between us and the ladies and how we explained the story. So our artwork is inspired from this visual, which is the leap of faith and the youngsters jumping off Akka's cliff into the sea. And that's like a passage to their manhood. And this was one of the stories that we wanted to convey and to talk about in the artwork Akka. Next, please. So then we started from the artwork itself. Like this is the artwork, one of the versions of Akka. And next we took it as an artwork to the textile, to the material that has this kind of texture, and specified each pattern with the color, the DMC number, the cuts. So we've given details of dimensions of each cut. We've given the details of the visual to be printed on the upper fabric, which is called the marca, to actually be able to embroider on, following that print and not counting, to actually be able to create this visual. Next, please. Akka thobe. This was inspired again from the Akka version. Next, please. This is like focusing on the jump itself with different inlays and different 3D of the patterns. Next, please. So we've again specified the fabric, the thread, and that's another Akka thobe. Next, please. Describing the weight, the line the guys stand in to go off the cliff and to do the jump. And in the green area lines, this is where we wanted to mimic the brass lines using not fabric, but like rods, small beads of black beads to reflect the rods, coming again back to our artwork. Next. Next slide, please. So this is the inspiration for our artwork called Yafa, showing the old port of Yafa, and that's the artwork itself. Next, please. and taking that artwork into the thobe with the outline of Beit Dajan. So 5 of the thobes had the outline of Beit Dajan, keeping it relevant to the traditional cut, and creating the visuals from Yafa artwork. Next, please. Again, printing with different colors to show the legends of the material, the threads. Next, please. This is the visual inspiration from our artwork Wamashat, showing the details of the wheat stems. Next, please. Reflecting that on the thobe, and here making sure that there is this movement, that she's coming out of the thobe, that she's like leaving, and that's freedom that's breaking out. That's another inspiration from a zoomed in crop of Yafa, the boat. Next, please. Yeah, next, please. And showing the boat coming out of the thobe on the shoulder with the movement of like breaking free. Next, please. And my journey thobe. Next, please. Is showing the minimal dress that Nesrine feels most dear to. The guy on the shoulder, the Akkawi guy. With detailing of each cut, each piece, and each fabric. Next. Yeah, these are the thobes that are on display in Abu Dhabi Art. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you.
For going into so much detail and explaining to everyone the process that each thobe went through to produce this a piece of art. Actually, literally, it's a piece of art. And I have 2 questions for Nesrine. How was it like to work from a distance during COVID?
Well, for me personally, it was not easy. I'm a visual person. I like to touch, see, sometimes smell things in order to make sense out of it. But like I had to face reality at that time. Literally, the project started in our first quarantine phase in Amman and like in all of the world, and just we were left with no choice. So I was locked down with fabric, unfortunately, and I enjoyed at least touching these fabrics at the beginning. And after shipping the materials from Amman and to Lebanon, and this is another challenge, I'll go through the challenges with the audience right now, telling them how unusual the process of going into embroidery and designing a piece, the cutting and all the fashion experience. Especially it's our first time dealing with fashion and embroidery on threads and fabrics. So we felt that we are dealing with virtual material. Even the thobes, they were more, the graphics, we were relating to the graphics more than the actual pieces, because this is what we know. We know the graphics that Nermeen worked on, and the pieces for us, they're in the virtual world. So the first time we got to see the first thobe was after three months of work. And we were at the middle of the time, and remember, we all remember that time, how we were all frustrated, like we really wanted to see something real. We really want to not judge, but like evaluate the process and see, like, does it really fulfill our vision as designers, and you guys as you know, the women's ability, and you really wanted to make sure that they're performing the way they, you know, them, they do usually the work. And with all the I would like to tap into the process of material selection. The ladies are located in Sidon, Lebanon. Nermeen is in Dubai. I am in Amman, and Nadine in Abu Dhabi, and Nesrine, Nesrine was in Canada, right? Yes, I remember, like, it was the time differences between us and just communicating back and forth. And like, it was kind of interesting, crazy, just to do something for the first time without even going into sampling phase and knowing the abilities of these ladies. It was a full trust with full risk taking, and knowing me and Nermeen were so we're so okay with the risk taking projects, and we're good at it. But like, we were very eager to see something real. And we had lots of difficulties with the shipping, with the resolution of the technologies, the colors. Sometimes we go back and talk about the colors and numbers, not individuals, that because of the technologies challenges with the ladies' phones and technologies that they have. And the color you'll see on your mobile, it's so different than I see on my screen, and just endless variation of endless turbulences. But we were very happy to see the end result. And with their, again, I have to say that the ladies at the camp, they showed amazing talents, amazing coping with the technology, and coping with the pandemic situation that we were all pushed to perform during this. And at the end, although I'm sure Nermeen and I have lots of modification in terms of designs, and you know, it's like any other project. You would like to take this to the next level of just really perfecting this, the color, the fabric, the cuts. It's like everything else. Nothing is perfect, but we're so happy for the result. We're so happy for the outcome. And I'm sure the ladies in the camp are very proud of themselves, because we squeezed them with so many deadlines, and the amount of work that they have to perform and submit, it was enormous.
They came through, and the result is amazing. And the more I look at the Thobes, I have to say that the more I am amazed and stunned by their beauty and their, you know, it's just, they're very special. Now, yeah. I need to ask you one more question, Nesrine. How has this experience changed you as an artist?
Oh, wow. First of all, collaboration. We were always away from collaboration, I have to say. Nermeen and I, maybe because we're a team of 2 and sometimes 3 and more here in Amman. But for us, that was a real first collaboration we do with others. And collaboration is multiplication. It multiplied our horizon as designers. It proves that when you rise by lifting others, you do really rise by lifting others. It's just it's mutual. I don't mean it because we've seen ourselves like rose, or we've been risen to this stage, but because the ladies' ability to do embroidery and to add to their experience. Because what we did in embroidery, we just realized that we had them do embroidery in a different way that they're used to do it. So for them, it opened channels, and we were so happy to introduce this way of embroidery to Palestinian women in refugee camps, that tells them that embroidery is something that can be taken to new dimension, to new words, and just it's that flexible, it's that resilient to time, and it can be taken to new technologies as well. So we were so happy by adding to each other and by having these opportunities, that knowing people, and the real collaboration is creating really true bridges between you and us guys, between us and the ladies in the camp. Although for me, I still didn't get the chance to see any of you, and hopefully soon. We feel that we have family in Saidoun that we know, and we feel that we have you guys on board with us for future and just for more collaboration to come. We're so happy and grateful for this opportunity. Again, thank you.
So I have questions from the public that I'd like to address. Just give me one moment. One of them says, where will the pieces be available for sale post the fair? So currently the pieces are on exhibition at Manarat Al Saadiyat. They run from today the 19th through the 26th, and they are on sale. We've sold a few currently, and there are a few more left that will be for sure, inshallah, sold. So you can just visit Manarat Al Saadiyat between 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily to visit the exhibition. The other question is, when women support women, the world heals. This seems like one such projects. Could you share your remarks on the same? I am a firm believer of women supporting women and women empowering each other. And this is a Women for Women project. We are so happy, I'll speak on behalf of both of us here, we're so happy to work with Naqsh Collective because they share the same values and they share the same vision as us in empowering each other. And like Nesrine said, rise by lifting others. And this is very much the motto. So I hope I did answer the question to your liking. And I just wanted to thank everyone for joining us here today. Again, if you haven't yet visited a Thobe Story at Manarat Al Saadiyat, the exhibition will run until the 26th of November, and we're looking forward to meeting the public. Thank you so much, and thank you Abu Dhabi Art for hosting us, and thank you to Naqsh Collective.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody, and hope to see you soon in a better condition.
Yes.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
You too. Stay.
Mm.
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. Have a good day. Bye.